There we go. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? It is not a good morning, but not all hope is lost. So stick with me. We're going to get into it in a second. And we are going to talk about what is going on because shortly after midnight, we had a ruling from the Senate Parliamentarian, and we will talk about that in a second. Good early morning. And yeah, so the Senate parliamentarian shortly after midnight decided that the tax known as the NFA cannot be changed through a process made to modify taxes and budgetary concerns, which is mind blowing, but it is what it is. So the Senate parliamentarian ruled that the NFA cannot be modified through the reconciliation process, which on the surface says that it is dead, but it is not dead. Let me just get that out of the way right now. They are reviewing their options, and we might have to have another push with the Senate. The Senate parliamentarian is not the finer arbiter of what is going on and whatnot. The parliamentarian is there to advise, which means that the Senate can reject can reject her advice, which we have to push them to do. Uh, if the Senate rejects the advice, her advice, John Thune can say, "We're not going to take your advice," and then what could happen? It will go to a vote with the Senate to accept or reject her advice. And if they vote to reject her advice, they can move on. And this has happened multiple times in the past, and it could happen here. So right now, they are reviewing their options, and I think that is probably what we are going to try to push. We don't know quite yet. Waiting on some very smart people to get back to me with that, but it is. Um, but yep, that is what's going on. I'm looking up right now times where the parliamentarian was overruled because I know it has happened multiple times in the past. Let me see here. How many times have done in the past? And it's just not this. There's a lot in the bill. Uh, but uh, bad news is uh, Thune is already saying that they're not going to overrule the parliamentarian, which kind of sucks. Uh, but uh, she has ruled against a lot of the bill. She's been pretty even-handed until this time. This time right here, she's striking down a lot of different things, just not this. But she struck down like funding for illegals and stuff like that. So it's just not guns. She took like a chainsaw to the reconciliation bill. Um, but John Thune, uh as of yesterday, said that that they're not going to overrule her. Um, Tuberville, for example, is saying that he wants to overrule her. So I think the play might be to pressure Thune into overruling her. So we'll have to see what happens here, but right now I think the whole entire thing is on Thune. And it wouldn't be the first time that a parliamentarian has been overruled, and they could also remove her because Thune can appoint whoever he wants as as the parliamentarian. So we'll have to see what happens here, but this is not good. Um, but I mean, it's not the first time. Uh, uh, for example, on in May, the parliamentarian was overruled. So they can be overruled again. We just have to put a lot of pressure. This is gonna have to be massive, massive pressure. But but Thune needs to get off his ass and pressure the parliamentarian, not pressure parliamentarian, but be pressured to overrule the parliamentarian. But Thune is stating that he does not want to overrule the parliamentarian. So we'll have to see what happens here. But it wouldn't be the first time the parliamentarian was overruled, and we really, really need to push John Thune to do it and to let him know that if they don't do it, we're going to vote his ass out. So right now, call John Thune's office, tell him that he needs to go ahead and overrule the parliamentarian, and if he doesn't, we will definitely vote his ass out. So that's the marching orders, guys. Call John Thune, say the parliamentarian must be overruled. She's overstepping her thing. The NFA is clearly a tax. There's a 1937 Supreme Court ruling that says it's a tax, and it is clearly a tax. So with that, yep. Um, let's do it. Email him, call, whatever. And it looks like Democrats still rule even when they don't win the election. Exactly. All right, guys, that is it. I'm gonna take off. I gotta get my kids to camp. And sorry, I'm just really, really tired. My wife had surgery yesterday, so I was at the hospital for 16 hours yesterday. So I'm kind of out of it. That's why I haven't been on for the last couple days. But I am going to get my kids to camp. Then I'm going to rest a little bit and do some work. All right. Bye bye. See ya.